Today started off with a normal trip to the Lego store, and of course because I go to the store I always want to check out the pick-a-brick wall, and while I was looking at the pieces and admiring some of the really cool things they have, you guys, I was absolutely shocked and very excited to learn that the Lego store had replaced their large pick-a-brick cups with the Lego pick-a-brick boxes, which means for the first time ever, I was able to get my hands on one of the new pick-a-brick boxes, and I will be giving you guys the full lowdown here in today's video. Alright, let's rewind this a little bit and we'll start this story by me visiting the Lego store. Like I mentioned, the very first thing I did when I got here was start to look at the pieces on the pick-a-brick wall. I had not yet noticed the boxes.
Wow, look at this. This is a pick-a-brick wall that's actually the regular size and normal. They've got a decent selection of pieces here, nothing too crazy, but let me show you some of my favorites. So for starters, I'm really excited because they have a bunch of these 2x2 dark tan tiles, which I always love to get. They've got these cool gold leaf pieces here and some of the railings as well. They've also got a whole bin of these 1x3x5 door panels, but unfortunately no frames. They've got these really cool 1x8 light bluish gray arches. They've got some black flags and a bunch of different colors of 1x2 bricks and just all the other generic Lego pieces that you can often find on the wall. Even got some 1x6 arches as well. Oh my god, no way, you guys, they have the new Lego pick-a-brick boxes. Wow, this is the first time I've seen these. I read on Discord that these weren't even going to be available until January 1st, 2023, but they've got them here. Check it out. I've actually assembled one up, and oh my god, this is crazy.
So obviously by the time I saw that they had the boxes, plus I was already pretty impressed with some of the parts they had on the pick-a-brick wall, I obviously knew I was going to be filling a box here.
Oh wow, this is super cool. My first ever experience filling up a Lego pick-a-brick box. This is really cool. You can pack it down just like you would a regular normal cup, and I got it pretty full here. The box isn't fully closed, but I don't think the Lego store employees will give me much of a hassle.
For those of you who need a refresher, this is what a large pick-a-brick cup used to look like up until about 10 minutes ago. This is the new large pick-a-brick cup equivalent. These are sold in boxes. From starters, it looks a little bit different than the actual pick-a-brick cup here, obviously. It's a little bit of a different shape and a style, but we'll have to wait and see kind of what is inside it and if there is actually a difference between what I'm able to get into a box and what I'm able to get into a cup here. Alright, so I'll definitely be doing some experimentation here in this video, but first let's actually open up the pick-a-bricks box. Here are all the parts that I was able to get. I'm not going to focus so much on the parts for this video because that's not really what it's about, but I wanted to focus on my experience. So as you guys saw in the Lego store, it was very easy to stack this, way easier than stacking a traditional pick-a-brick cup. So basically what I did was I just took the box, assembled it myself, which was super easy, and started filling it with pieces. So I was able to fit a bunch of stuff in here. It was pretty easy because I did a couple shakes and I did a couple shimmies, of course, but I was able to get majority of the parts in no problem. So this is the amount of parts that I was able to fit in the pick-a-brick box here. You guys could see it was overflowing just a little bit, but for the most part I was able to fit it in. Now I want to just take and see from this experiment exactly how many of these parts that I could fit in. I didn't do any packing or stacking here other than a couple shimmying and shakes. So let me just start dumping the parts in here and see how many I'm able to fit in. Hopefully it's either more or about the same, but it should not have any leftover room, I would imagine, in the pick-a-brick cup. Alright, so I have the box emptied out here now, and the pick-a-brick cup is full. The lid does not close, but I did that on purpose because the box lid did not close as well. But as you guys can see, all the parts that I dumped out of this pick-a-brick box are now here in the cup, and there doesn't look to be a ton of room. I did kind of shimmy it down and try and get it in as much, but as I said, the lid is not even on and I didn't do any stacking. But as you guys can see, there is a whole tray here of parts that didn't actually make it inside the cup, and the cup is literally overflowing. So from a first glance, it does appear that I was actually able to get more parts inside the new pick-a-brick box than I was the cup. The price of the pick-a-brick cup, or this pick-a-brick box I should say, it'll take me some time guys, get used to it, but the price of this box was still $19.99 here in Canada, which is the same price as the pick-a-brick cup, so nothing there has changed. I heard a rumor that the prices of these boxes will be going up a little, but they didn't have any new signage or anything printed, so they might still go up, but as of right now, this is the price, is still $19.99. The box, although is smaller and weighs significantly less than the pick-a-brick cup, I definitely was able to get more parts in it so far, just from not doing any stacking. You guys saw how I stacked it in the store, and you saw how I just stacked it right here. I was able to get roughly the exact same amount of parts in. It would be very curious to know if it was all of just like one part, like these 2x2 tiles, because obviously there were some door frames and some other things in here as well. But I think one of the biggest things everybody wants to know is masonry bricks. You guys would have seen earlier this year that I was able to get fit 647 of these 1x2 masonry bricks into a standard pick-a-brick cup. That involved a lot of stacking and a lot of coordination and took quite a bit of time, and you have to be a little strategic following a special diagram because it obviously can't just go straight. You've got to do these like circle things and whatever. However, now with these Lego boxes, I'm really curious to know how many of these 1x2 bricks I'd be able to fit in a box like this, also using the stacking method. I'm not going to count them individually if I just dump the parts in, but I want to stack it up and see what it could be. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this entire thing, and I'm not even going to stack the entire thing myself. I'm going to be a little bit more strategic and do some math. Alright you guys, so I was able to stack 7 layers of the 1x2 bricks while they are laying on their side, and each stack was able to contain 9 Lego bricks. I'm going to have to do some math for this one, but essentially I'm going to draw the box out just so I can get a better visual. So I can go 7 high by 9, and I'm able to go 11 bricks across comfortably. So basically what that means is if you take 11 stacks of these bricks, which are 9 each, that is getting you a total of 99 bricks per base layer. You then times that by 7 because you're obviously going to stack that 7 high, and that means you get 693 bricks in the box. All that being said, at the end of the box here, there is still a little bit of a gap actually, which I would estimate you could probably get 3 different more layers of bricks on their sides. So that's an additional 3 times 9, which is 27, and I don't need to use the calculator for that. So 693 plus 27 equals 720. So that means if you use the stacking method with these new pick-a-brick boxes, you will be able to get 720 of these 1x2 masonry bricks inside the pick-a-brick box here versus the 647 you were able to get with just the cup. I don't know about you, but especially if these stay the same price, that is a pretty good deal. It's actually a lot easier stacking the bricks like this as well. Before I had to, if you wanted to stack them and fit the most into this cup as possible, you had to get a special diagram from Google and like sit there and like really finagle and make multiple layers. This is literally just stacking them together very, very easily. Like this is way, less brainy to have to do at the store. And of course, if you do want to just fill up a box, let's not do any stacking here or anything like that. Let's actually just fill the box. This won't be an actual math science because I'm not going to count all 400 and some pieces they get in here, and I don't have a counting scale. But let's just see if I put all these 1x2 bricks into the box without any stacking, how many we actually can translate into the cup. Same idea without stacking. Alright, it's pretty close, but I think I can fit a few more in because the Lego store, they're always pretty generous. They never really kick me out of trying to overfill the cups here. But alright, I think this box is decently filled now. So now what I'm actually going to do is put the parts from this pick-a-brick box into the pick-a-brick cup, and let's see how many we're able to put in. So this is really interesting to see. Unstacked in these pick-a-brick cups, I was actually able to fit the exact same amount of bricks that I would in this box into the cup. So that's roughly 480, I believe. So unstacked, the box and the cup seem to hold the exact same amount of value of this piece in particular, which is obviously not the case from what we saw earlier. I was able to get more of the smaller pieces in the box than I was the cup. However, if you do take the time to stack, you are getting way more parts in the box here than you would the cup. This is 647 stacked versus 720. So if you do take the time, you are able to get a significant more, and to go from 480 to 720, that is almost 300 bricks more. So for an easy part like this, where it's just 1x2 bricks, it's definitely more cost effective to stack them in the box. However, like we saw from other smaller parts that I did earlier, it isn't an apples to apples comparison. So that's where this gets a little tricky, of course, but this was really cool to have the first time ever checking out this pick-a-brick box here. I'm really impressed with it. I'm really excited to be able to use this and to keep these now instead. I will miss the cups, but this was way easier to fill and way easier to stack. And I do just want to add here as well that the box itself is actually pretty sturdy. So it has a very thick piece of cardboard on the top, 2 different layers of cardboard on the bottom, so it actually folds in and flats nicely. So I'm not really worried about any of my Lego actually escaping from the bottom of the box, but the box sides here are pretty sturdy as well, and the lid is even a little bit sturdier. So when I was stacking this, I was worried at first that I'd be worrying if like the pieces were going to fall out and stuff like that, but as I said, the box is pretty sturdy here, the sides are pretty sturdy, and when I was carrying it, I was like, oh, I don't think this is going to rip out or anything like that. Like that fear never came to mind, which I think is a big positive, because that was one thing that I was kind of worried about at at the start. But it's a lot easier, and obviously these will take up way less room for shipping, and they do fold up quite nicely. Like, this is actually exactly how they had it in the store, all nicely folded up and stuff like this, and you actually just pick it out and assemble it together. Super easy to assemble, literally anyone can do it, and now you have a perfect box full of Lego. Well, I'm really glad that I was able to get the box today and really do this comparison, because I myself have been super curious. Like, it's nice to know that if I'm just going to fill a box with like 1x2 parts, I'll roughly get the exact same amount that I would get in a pick-a-brick cup. But if I was to spend a little bit more time stacking it, I would be able to get way more of that brick in the box here. And of course, from the parts I saw from the pick-a-brick wall earlier today, I was able to get, more parts in the box than I was actually the cups. So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a toss-up, but for the most part, I would say it's going to be pretty similar. Without changing the price or anything like that, it would be pretty hard to believe if Lego would do something crazy drastic or anything like that, and it appears that they didn't. But you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of the new pick-a-brick box. I myself am really excited to start using it, and was so excited when I saw it at the Lego store today, and I know this is my first one, but there will be many, many more to come. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you here in the next video.